Hey y'all, it's Crystal. Thanks for coming by today. We are going to talk about the rest of my reading for June. So we're wrapping up the rest of June. I did do a mid-month check-in. I'll link it below if you missed it and want to watch it. But we're going to talk about the second half of June. Yeah. And I read some pretty good stuff. So let's talk about it. First up, let's talk about The Electric State by Simon Stålenhag. This is a kind of graphic work. It's a really kind of large format, kind of picture book, really, but it's not like a kid's picture book. It is kind of a dystopian, post-apocalyptic type of a story. So presented to us with gorgeous illustrations and then, some text along with it as well. And it was fantastic, first of all, absolutely amazing. And my library had it, so I checked it out at the library, so I don't have a physical copy anymore because I had to return it anyway. But yeah, post-apocalyptic in a way. The sort of landscape is in kind of disarray and left to ruin, and a lot of people that are around are kind of I guess in a way like addicted almost to being sort of almost kind of like jacked into like the internet, for lack of a better word, you know what I mean? Like, and it's like, I don't know if it's like an actual game or not, but anyway, they're just turned into these sort of like zombie-ish, just like wasting away, literally, Anyway, if I can find maybe some pictures online of some of the imagery, I'll put it here, but just super interesting. And again, the artwork was just really fantastic. We're following this character as they're making their way to a certain like destination, basically. And she's got a little robot friend with her. And yeah, it got a little bleak and a little dark at times, but really good. I highly recommend it. Next, I read The Good Luck Girls by Nicole Davis. I read this for, technically for June on the Range, the Western event. Though this, not necessarily a straight up and down Western, but it's got Western vibes for sure. This is a YA novel with a bit of a fantasy kind of spin, but it does feel kind of rooted in like a real world. But so we're in this place where it is, well, let me try to think how to best say it. So it is a world much like, our own. It feels like very much, Earth, but it's not called necessarily Earth or whatever, or America or whatever. But anyway, I feel like I'm rambling already. I do apologize. But our story starts off and we're in this, this kind of brothel, I guess for lack of a better word, but, and they're called Good Luck Girls, which are, the ladies that service the men, right? And they're basically are usually sort of sold away to these places at a young age because there's lots of poverty, lack of food, and things like that. And so families, sadly just kind of end up giving away their girls with thinking they'll be having, a somewhat better life. They'll get, 3 meals a day and, that kind of thing. But, yeah. So, but anyway, our story opens up and one of our young girls has just turned 16, which is like the age at which she now becomes, a working lady, if you know what I mean. And so it follows her as she's, kind of getting prepared. And then, the man comes in for the night and through something that happens, she ends up killing this man. And that sets our story. And so she is in this place with her older sister. And so she and a few other girls make a run for it and are trying to find their way essentially to someone, this maybe is myth, maybe is legend, but someone that can kind of remove these marks on them, which mark them as, a good luck girl. And so it makes it hard for them to kind of, move in the real world because they're forever kind of marked. Anyway, that's like the gist of the story. Things happen along the way, of course. It is this sort of journey tale, if you like, that kind of like travel type of story through a really Western feeling kind of setting, deserty and mountainous and sands and, and then of course they're on the run, so there's always like a bad guy chasing them, you know, that kind of thing. It's really good, but there is a sort of magic to it because, you know, this mark is kind of, you know, put to them, you know, in a magical way. I don't know how else to say that, but anyway, I feel like I'm talking about this book, but I really enjoyed this. It's very good. I really liked the characters. I really loved the setting, and I love this world that was created. It's a sort of, you know, dystopian almost feeling world, almost like a collapse of, you know, a previous empire, and then so what has risen to kind of, you know, take control of things is, you know, kind of like almost like corporate greed and just, you know, rich guys, you know, that kind of thing. And there's a lot of here sort of about immigration as well, because there's certain people that come into this world as sort of immigrants are definitely looked down upon, like they don't have a shadow, and so their march right away is not being like one of us, you know, kind of thing. Yeah, I don't know, there's a lot going on in here. I really enjoyed it. It was really fantastic, and I highly recommend it if it sounds good to you. So yeah, Good Luck Girls, I really enjoyed this. Western vibes, again, not straight up Western, but vibes for sure, so I liked it. Okay, then I read The Creek. I talked about this a little bit in my vlog where I was doing the Scary Summer Reading Challenge, but this is just a slim little story, but very effective. This is a really kind of a coming of age story about this young teenage kid who is summer, school's out for summer, and so he's just like lives in a trailer with his dad. It's just the two of them, and they're in like the kind of New York mountain areas. And yeah, they live next door to this kind of old, kind of abandoned like campground that was, you know, has been for sale, and you know, that kind of thing. It's just kind of laid empty for several years until this summer when it has been bought, and the people that move in are essentially part of this religious cult. And they have a teenage daughter, which you can see where that's going. They connect up because they're, you know, they're the same age, and he's kind of brought into the fold a little bit of this cult, and then, you know, our story goes from there. And yeah, it was good. It was good. I really liked the writing, really enjoyed the characters and the little setting. And yeah, it was fantastic. I actually really enjoyed this. If you like for a short coming of age story, definitely recommend this. And there is another story in the back part called Husk. Just another, I mean, literally a very short story. That was good as well. So yeah, I liked that. It was really good. I then did a reread. I don't reread very much, but it doesn't matter. Love in the Big City by Sang-Young Park, and this is a story that I love. It is a Korean novel, and it talks about a man's, yeah, really just his life as living as a gay man in South Korea, which can come with its own challenges, of course, and what it's like, you know, I mean, I've talked about this before because I read it before, but you know, his you know, friendships, and he has this kind of tumultuous relationship with his mother, though he's the only one around, so he's also in this kind of caregiver role for her because she has cancer. So there's like familial obligations, even though like his mom like really doesn't approve of, you know, of his lifestyle, you know, that kind of thing, and it can be kind of mean. And then just, you know, trying to find love and soul, and so it goes through a couple of like kind of important relationships that he's had over the years. And there is talk in here about you know, HIV, how he contracts HIV, and it's just, you know, living his life. And I love it. It's so good. I know it was made to a drama. I still haven't watched it because I'm forever behind on watching dramas, but anyway, yeah, it's such a good book, and the audiobook is really good, so I highly recommend that. So that was good. And then I read for Jen over at Literary Love 123, her Literary Love book club. Her inaugural book was Picnic at Hanging Rock by Joan Lindsay, and I really enjoyed this too. This would have been on my list for a long time, of course, because it's a bit of a kind of modern classic, but at this point, and I did really enjoy it. It takes place in Australia. Like 1900 is their time period, and this is kind of girls' kind of boarding school, and so, you know, we're following a group of gals as they take off on a little trip to go, a picnic at Hanging Rock. I mean, it is what it is. So they're, you know, hanging out there for the day. A group of 4 girls kind of branch off and want to go on a little hike and go up so they can get closer to the mountain, and you know, things like that. And they disappear. And this starts our story of kind of the aftermath of these girls disappearing, people trying to find them, of course, and then like the people left at the boarding house, particularly our sort of like there's like a headmistress, you know, and stories we learned of the other girls, and I don't know, it was there's this level of just like off-puttingness, you know. It's a very off-putting kind of tension throughout, like kind of crumbling underneath everything here, which is kind of eerie, and yeah, it was good. It was really good. So I'm very much looking forward to the chat that she's gonna have about it too, because I feel like I've definitely missed some things, but yeah, it was good. And then wrapped up July. It's not even July. It's July now. June. I wrapped up June reading our book club pick for the Death by TBR book club, which of course I co-host with Kelly from Kelly Hooked on Books. Juliet Takes a Breath by Gabby Rivera. This is, I think, from another kind of YA story and other, you know, coming of age feels, though our character's a bit older, not necessarily a kid. She is a college kid, and she lives in New York and New York City, the Bronx, I think, right? Yep. And she's Puerto Rican, has a big Puerto Rican family, and she's about to set off on a summer where she's gonna head over to Portland, Oregon, and be kind of like an intern, you know, role for her favorite author. And right before she leaves, she, you know, kind of tells people that, hey, by the way, I'm gay, and so some of her family, how they react and things, and then so she like leaves right away, right? And then she gets to Portland, and it's really a fish out of water story, because this is a totally different scene for her, totally different place. She's not really traveled very much from what I gathered, and so she's meeting all sorts of interesting folks, and a lot of interesting other queer folks as well, which you know, it really is kind of a story about her learning about her own, you know, queerness and how that fits within that sort of queer world, and then also kind of dealing with this author that she really just, you know, loves and admires and wants to, you know, aspire to be, maybe isn't quite the person that she thought she was, you know, that kind of thing, that meeting your idol kind of thing, which can sometimes be a bummer, right? It's just a really, like I said, slice of life kind of coming of age, you know, type of story. And I did really enjoy it. It was fun. Gabby gave Juliet a really great voice, and yeah, I really liked Juliet as a character. It was really great. It was fun. I really liked it. So, and it was, you know, it takes place in the summer. It's really kind of a perfect summery type read. So I think that was it. Wrapped up my June reading. I had a pretty good month, actually. Pretty decent month. And yeah, so yeah, that's it for now. So I will do a fun stuff wrap up as well, and that's it. So let me know what you read for June, and did you take part in any of the fun events? I had a fun time. My favorite book, probably Victorian Psycho, which I talked about in the first half. I love that book. I'm still thinking about that book. It's so good. And I really loved Alligator Dream department store as well. And I really did love reading The Creek and Good Luck Girls. I had a good month. All right, I'm rambling. So I'm going to end it here. And hope you're doing well and hanging in there, having a good summer so far. I will talk to you in the next one. All right, bye.